Welcome back. This is the third video solving model examination. The first question here, it says 2x plus 8 over x squared minus 12 minus 1 over x, the whole over x plus 6 as x approaching negative 6, the limit of this whole function. Direct substitution of negative 6 will be a problem here, because if you insert negative 6 here, the denominator part, what you see here, it's going to be undefined. It will be 0, means it's going to be undefined. So we have to design another technique. Let us try to simplify. For that purpose, there are two fractions here. The upper fraction is this part, and the lower fraction means this one. The lower fraction, it has no denominator, means the denominator is obviously it's no y. I mean 1. And remember, if you have two fractions, a over b over c over d form, what to do? This is the same as a over b times, you are going to flip the lower fraction, d over c. Keep this in your mind, and then let's go. Therefore, to process the upper part of the fraction, we have to apply crisscross, because the denominators are not the same, because it's minus. Therefore, when you apply crisscross, 2x plus 8 will be multiplied by x. It's going to be 2x squared plus 8x minus x squared minus 12 multiplied by 1. It will be x squared minus 12. But remember, look, I put a bracket here, because this negative has effect. The whole over, what do I have? The product of these two, x times x squared minus 12. Times, as I said before, I'm going to flip this. X plus 6 over 1 will be flipped and multiplied. So it will be 1 over x plus 6. Now let us finalize. This is going to be 2x squared plus 8x minus x squared plus 12, because negative times negative will be plus 12. The whole over, what do you have? X into x squared minus 12 into x plus 6. The denominator part all will be multiplied, and we can keep it as it is in this form. So this is the same as, when you simplify, what will happen? X squared and negative x squared will be x squared remain. Then plus 8x minus 12. The whole over, the denominator again is still the same. X squared minus 12, then x plus 6 we do have. Now let us try to factorize the numerator part. Think of two numbers, product negative 12 and sum, positive 12. It's plus 12. To factorize, think of two numbers, product 12 and sum the middle term, which is 8. Obviously these two numbers are 6 and 2. If you multiply 6 by 2, it will give you 12. If you add 6 and 2, to give you 8. So I can write the numerator part as x plus 6 and x plus 2. Now what you can see here, obvious, x plus 6 up and x plus 6 down will be cancelled out. This was the problem. This whole process happened to cancel this x plus 6, because directly inserting negative 6 was undefined. Now x plus 6 is avoided. So we can do now the limit of x plus 2, the whole over x into x squared minus 12, as x goes to negative 6. Now if we insert negative 6 plus 2 will be, negative 4 over the negative 6 times, again negative 6 squared will be 36, minus 12 will be 24. Then you can cut the negative here. And by 4 1, this by 4 6. So numerator left 1 and denominator 6 times 6 will be 36. So the answer will be 1 over 36. Obviously it will be D. Let's go to the next question. The second question, it says, it is a distribution of marks obtained in mathematics exam out of 55, the table what you see. Those who scored between 5 and 14 is 20 students. Those who scored between 15 and 24, 40. 25 and 34, 35 and 44, it continues like that. So the first row, the mark, and the second row, it will be the number of students. We can say it's a frequency. So if students whose scores are in the bottom of 25% of the mark are considered as failure, then what is the maximum failing mark? The bottom 25% means it is the first quartile. Quartile means dividing the whole into 4 parts. That means the first part will be 25% of the lower. So what will be like the bottom 25% will be failure. So what will be the maximum of the failing mark, it says. That means we are asked to find first quartile. We have to be systematic and think that. So what is the formula to find quartile? Let me recall for you. Here it is. The formula for quartile is the same as KQ is equal to QK equal to BL plus KN over 4 minus CFB over FK the whole times I. What means QK? The K means which quartile, first quartile or second or the third quartile. The lower quartile will be the first quartile and the upper quartile will be the third one. And the middle one is the second quartile, that is the same as median. Remember those things. So the K represents anyways 1, 2, 3. What about BL? BL is written here, lower class boundary. The lower class boundary of the K's class. First of all, identify the class. How to identify the class? By using this formula. Kn over 4 will tell you which class you are going to calculate. For first quartile, for second quartile, and for the third quartile, the class differs. So the class will be identified by the formula Kn over 4. So what's N? It's the total number of frequency, the sum of the frequency. Then what is CFB? The cumulative frequency of the class before the K's class. Already once you identify the class, you are going to find the cumulative frequency of the before class. And FK means the frequency of the K's class, or the given or the current class that we are going to calculate. The I means the class interval. So keep this in your mind and let's get back to our equation. So as I said before, we are asked the maximum of the bottom 25%, means we are asked to find the first quartile. So what is the total frequency first? That means N, we said before, the total frequency, add it. 20, 40 will be 60, 60, 70 will be 130, 130 plus 50 will be 180, plus 20 will be 200. That is the total frequency. Therefore, what will be the class? First, let's find the class. How to find the class? Kn over 4. The K, we said already, first quartile. We are trying to find Q1. So that means the K is equal to 1. So we can do this is the same as 1 times 200 over 4. When you simplify, by 4 1, this by 4 50. So it will be 50. So the first 20 is found in the first class, as you see. And after 20, from 20 until the next 60 terms, after 20, because the sum of the two will be 60. So from 20 until 60, it's going to be in the second class. So where is the 15th term is found? The 15th term is second class. So our class will be that is from 15 to 24. We have to write it in boundary. The lower boundary here 4.5, then 14.5. So we can write it 14.5 to 24.5 minus 0.5 and add 0.5. In the lower, you are going to subtract 0.5 from the lower, and from the upper add 0.5. So this is a lower class boundary. This is what we call it BL. And what about the interval? The interval, it's already 10. The interval means the difference, the gap between the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary of the class. Actually, each class will be the same. So what will be the frequency of the class? What you said, Fk. The frequency of the given class is 40. What about the cumulative frequency of the before class? The class before. This is our class, we said, before. It's just 20. Now hopefully we have everything. So now we have everything. As you see here, we have everything. Kn over 4, frequency of the class, cumulative frequency of the before class, and the class interval, and the class lower boundary. We have everything. So we can apply now. First of all, let us compile everything what we have. Kn over 450, the lower class boundary we have, and frequency of the class, the cumulative, we have everything. So here is the formula. Now let us substitute, or let us insert. So Q1 will be, that is 14.5 plus, that is 50 minus CFB, it's already 20 over Fk is 40 multiplied by 10. What the difference here? The difference here is going to be 30. Then you can cut the 0. And 3 over 4 means 0.75. But when you multiply by 10, it will be 7.5. 7.5 will be added with 14.5. You know, you have to be systematic and faster when you do, because calculator is not allowed this time. So 50 minus 20, what I did, it will be 30. Then I cut the 0, and still I have outside 10 because multiplication. But 3 over 4, this is like a common number. 3/4 of the earth, okay, the surface of the earth is covered with water. Remember, that means 75%, or 0.75, that means. So 3 over 4 means 0.75, obviously, but multiply by 10 means it's going to be 7.5. So when you add this, it's going to be 22. So the maximum result, the maximum of the failing point will be, or the failing mark will be 22. The answer is found at A. Very good. Let's continue the next question. The next question, it says, what are the greatest lower bound and the least upper bound of the sequence here? GLB and LUB. We are asked. GLB means greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound means you are going to find the greatest of the greatest outcome of the sequence, and the least upper bound means the smallest of. No. Greatest lower bound means we are going to find the smallest of all the outcome of this sequence, and the least upper bound means you are going to find the maximum or the largest of this sequence. So this kind of sequence, by just substituting number, we are going to check the pattern. And finally, we are going to see the limit of this sequence as n goes to infinity. First of all, when n is equal to 1, because sequence start by 1. First term, second term, third term, we will continue like that. We cannot say 0 term or negative terms, no. Okay, first comes, then second comes, like that. So if you insert 1, what will happen? If you insert 1 in place of n here, in place of n1, here also 1. If you insert, what will happen? Let us check. It's going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. What if n is equal to 2? If you insert 2, because you know a negative 1, the power of 1 is negative 1 over 1, just the negative will be plus. That's why if we insert 2, negative 1 square will be 1 over 2. So 1 minus 1 over 2. It's going to be 1 minus 1 over 2. 1 minus 1 over 2 will be 1 over 2. What if n is equal to 3? Insert 3 and check. Negative 1, the power of 3 will be negative 1 over 3. Negative will be plus, so 1 plus 1 over 3. This is going to be 4 over 3. 4 over 3 means like approximately 1.3. Still it's not getting larger, it's getting smaller, but it goes from 2 to 1 over 2, and again from 1 over 2 it goes to 1 over 3, 1.3. What if it is n is equal to 4? And I'll stop here. N is equal to 4 means it will be 1 minus 1 over 4. That is 3 over 4, again 0.75. Finally, let us check as n goes to infinity. As n goes to infinity means if the denominator, this one large number, okay, we don't care about the numerator. The numerator, it might be negative 1 or 1 for even infinity and negative even infinity, you can say, like even large number and odd large number. If you consider it will be either 1 or negative 1. Anyways, 1 over large number or negative 1 over large number is going to be 0. So as n goes to infinity, the sequence an will be 0. So which number is the maximum number and which number will be the smaller one from all what you see here? Not 0. This is going to be 0. 1 minus 0 will be 1, I mean. Because this one, the fraction part, it will be 0. So 1 minus 0 will be 1. As n goes to infinity, remember. So which number is the larger number from all the sequence? The sequence after this, it's getting smaller. It may be up and down, but it will not be like larger than 2. This is the maximum outcome. So the least upper bound will be 2. The least upper bound is going to be 2. The greatest lower bound, the smaller number, what you see is 1 over 2, 0.5. So we are asked lower bound, greatest lower bound is 1 over 2, it must be, and the least upper bound will be 2. So this kind of question, take care, especially greatest lower bound. When you say greatest, you have to think of the smallest one, and when it says least, because least upper bound, so you have to think of like x opposite. The next question, it says if the standard deviation of x1, x2, x3, until xn is 3, the original data. There is data x1, x2, x3 until xn. The standard deviation is 3. Then what will be the standard deviation of another new data for x1 plus 5? 4. That means the original data is multiplied by constant 4 and 5 is added. By the way, remember there are rules about standard deviation. If a given data is multiplied by a constant, each data, if it is multiplied by a constant, the new standard deviation is going to be the constant times the original one. That means if you multiply by, for example, by 4 each of them, 4x1, 4x2, 4x3 until 4xn, look, each data is multiplied by 4. What will be the new standard deviation? The original one, it was 3 multiplied by 4, because each of the data multiplied by 4 means the new standard deviation will be 12. 4 times 3. Again, there is another rule. If you multiply each of the data by, if you add a constant in each data, the new standard deviation will be the same as the original one. That means, for example, we know the standard deviation of this middle part, because each data are multiplied by 4, so the new become 12. So what if I add a constant in each according to the rule? 4x1 plus 5, 4x2 plus 5, if I continue like that until 4xn plus 5. If I add in each 5, the new standard deviation will be the same as the original one. So no change here. The answer will be D. Okay, the next question again, it says it's a probability in a box contains 2 white balls, 3 black balls and 4 red balls. Okay, that means 2 white, 3 black and 4 red balls are there in a box. So in how many ways 3 balls can be drawn from the box if at least 1 black ball is to be included? At least, the word is at least, remember. At least 1 black means 2 black is okay, 3 black also, it's okay. At least one black means one black and the other both can be white or both can be red, or one white one red, it's okay. Or 2 black and 1 white or 1 red, it's okay. Or 1 black and 1 white, 2 whites, or 1 black and 2 red, or 1 black and 1 white and 1 red, either of them. So how to do this kind of question? Since it is selection, we have to apply combination. So as I said before, at least one black means all the 3 can be black. That means the combination 3 to 3. From the 3 it can be 3. This is one possibility. 3 from 3. The other possibility, the 2 might be black. That means 3 2, and 1 might be white from 2 1. Or another possibility, the 2 black and the 1 red. Or another possibility, 1 black and 2 red. Or again another possibility, 1 black and 2 red. Or another possibility, 1 black, 1 white and 1 red. These are the whole possibilities. Okay, let me write what I mean. Once, this means 3 black. This means black, look, 2 black and 1 white. And this means 2 black and 1 red possibility. This means 1 black and 2 white, or 1 black and 2 red, or 1 black and 1 white and 1 red. That's the way. The combination it's going to be. This is the maximum possibility that we have. But we have to calculate each bracket. But when you calculate each bracket, it must be like easier. We have to think easier method. Like we have to complete it there. I will write at the top of it each outcome. Any number combined with 1 will be the number itself. Don't forget that. Any number combination was 1. So that this is 2, because 2 combination 1. This is 4. And this is 3. And this is also 3. And here also 3. And this is 2. And this is 4. Okay, 3 combination 2 also the same. Let us choose another color. Yeah, 3 combination also 3. You can check it. And 3 combination also 3. 2 combination 2 1. Don't forget that. 4 combination 2 you have to check it. You have to do it, and it's going to be 6. How to do? 4 combination 2 means it's the same as 4 factorial over 4 minus 2. You know it will be 2 factorial times 2 factorial. 4 factorial means 4 times 3 times 2 factorial. So you can cancel 2 factorial with 2 factorial. And then 2 factorial means it's just 2. So by 2 1 is by 2 2. And 2 times 3 will be 6. That's how I got it. So I think you need to revise how to find combination. Just it's all about formula. N combination R means the formula. What does it say? The combination of n combination R means is the same as n factorial over r factorial times n minus r factorial. That's the rule. So I'm applying that formula. But when you combine any number with 1, the number itself. And when you combine any number with the predecessor of it, also the number itself. So 3 combination 3 also 1. Don't forget it. So what left now? Everything we have got it. So let us add. This is 1 plus the second one. 3 times 2 will be 6 because it's product here. And the third one is 12 plus the next one. 3 times 1 will be 3 plus 18 plus 3 times 2 6 times 4 24. So let's add now. 1, 6, 7, 19, 22, 22 and 60 will be 18 will be 40. 40 plus 24 is going to be 64. So the answer is going to be A. So this is the way how we can calculate the questions. This is the last one, is probability. Probability is we cannot form one type of formulas always. It may differ from question to question, so you need to combine what's given and you need to state the appropriate formula. So these are some of the questions I prepared for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like it. I'm going to come back with another video.